And whoever is making efforts to reinstate Obasa has some fears, some concerns that we might not know. So, and that is also one of the reasons, or that could be one of the reasons he's doing all the bragado, all the show of force. Recently, we saw Obasa in the streets of Lagos with his kind of show. You know, it's the military that usually does this kind of show of force. You know, with your full chest, come out in the street in a place where you have been impeached and you are being applauded, held, you know, worshipped. Did you see that? This guy has a command in the streets. I told you earlier that Lagos State has built their strength on the powers in the streets. The street credibility is what they thrive on. The loyalty that they have built in the streets is majorly what Lagos State's leadership thrives on. They believe it is chop I chop, limited. And that loyalty that they have created in the streets seems to be one of the things keeping that structure that most of us believe is working against the majority of the people of Lagos State and by proxy Nigeria, because I believe that Lagos, being the commercial capital of Nigeria, has a lot of influence, has a lot of impact, has a lot of contribution to make in other parts of the country, because I have told you that Lagos represents every family in Nigeria. There is no family in Nigeria that doesn't have a presence in Lagos. So they bring their expertise from different states. They bring their wealth. They bring the technical know-how. They bring the technology. They bring the goodwill from different parts of the country, and they're all contributed in Lagos State. And we cannot look away from Lagos State, making it just one state that is isolated. Whatever happens in Lagos trickles down the whole country. That is why we are particular about studying what's happening in Lagos State. And you know, there are also other towns in Nigeria that are like Lagos State, but it seems to be the epic center of the examples of Nigeria, of the influence on Nigeria, just like the US is an influence on the world. So for Obasa to come out to do this show is showing something. What information is this guy trying? Obasa to come out to do this show is showing something. What information is this guy trying to pass on? That I won't live without a fight, and it's not going to be business as usual. So they have a hard nut to crack. But at this point, the people in the house feel that those people who have decided how power happens in Lagos can no longer decide for us now, because there is this speculation all over the streets that Lagosians are standing up to the power maniacs. And it's been said that if every state in Nigeria, every house in every state in Nigeria will stand up the way the lawmakers are standing up to whoever wants to reinstate Obasa, that it will be better. But how long can they hold on? How long can they hold out in this battle of supremacy? How long can they hold out? And will those who want to jettison Obasa succeed? And will they also take what he might be bringing on? These are people who have helped Lagos State become what it is today. Somebody who also shares part of that loyalty that is in the streets. It's evident in the clip we're showing you about his march in the streets of Lagos. You will see that this guy commands some level of loyalty in that street, or has a quota of that street with him. So are these people ready to go on with the division that is going to come both from the streets come 2027? It was that loyalty that they used to suppress the opposition in 2023. And if they have a divided opinion at this moment, and a divided house is going to deplete whatever is their strength in that Lagos pertaining to concerning elections. And I don't think that these power lords are ready for what's coming. So they will be doing everything to save the day. I don't think that the grandstanding in the house will succeed. I don't think the grandstanding in the house will succeed. These are people who are also so much after their own jobs. They don't want to lose their jobs. And the power lords know how to play these cards. They know how to place whoever in their position when they want to get what they want to get. As we study what's going on in Lagos State, we hope too that the opposition is gearing up for the elections in 2027. I have seen that there is a new speculation that most of these members of the House, I think about 27 of them, have said, we will not agree. Miranda is our now speaker. She is called Lagosians. We are called Lagos. We will not agree for the so-called Lagos non-Lagosians to usurp so much control, authority, or power over us. And it's getting very, very interesting. The speculation is that these 27 members of the House are ready to come to another party. A Labour Party, precisely. There is a statement from the Labour Party, is it the Labour Party? Okay, the Labour Party's Arab and B, that these people are already talking about the campaign to his party. It is getting interesting. But this speculation of the campaign is also creating problems in another quarters. That will bring me to the next video. And you have to watch it. What's next for the Labour Party? Where it is seen that the tentacles of APC is spreading too. Hello and welcome to Jazini Insights. We are still beaming our lights at Lagos State, where the impeachment of the Speaker of the House is not going as planned, supposedly are going so well. Right now, the Lagos State House is divided, with a lot of people now realizing that the leadership that took over Obasa's speakership will be what they would term core Lagosians. You know, after the 2023 elections, there was this tussle about Lagos not being a no man's land and being the state for Yoruba people. But how come that right now that house is divided and they are so much after who is more Lagosian than the other, are more deserving of the seat, that the lawmakers are solidly pushing behind Miranda to remain in that seat, even when there are speculations that the big boss of the GSC, the Governing Council, which is primarily always involved in choosing the leadership of Lagos State or in Lagos State. It is believed that this leadership, which the president is part of, is interested in returning Obasa, and now the people are pushing back, not the people of Lagos. So because remember I told you in the first video that APC is just a party of conglomerates of people with interest. So it's not really about the people, it's about how this power sharing formula will benefit everyone with interest that has come together to use the APC as the mechanism, as the vehicle to reach into where they would all want to be. The APC was and has always been a party of people with collective interest, and that interest is to have a cut of the national cake, to be in power. But you know, we cannot all be in power same time, so it's going to be turn by turn limited per person, and the proximity you have towards that national cake, having your own turn, will be a function of the quantity or the level of loyalty or whatever you brought in the formation of that party. And Lagos State is the epic center of whatever experiments that happens in APC. And now, as the tussle continued, earlier also, I made the analysis of how we got here in this tussle between Obasa and that leadership determining council in the GAC. You know, Fashola came and had a good time. And when it was like he was pushing back, you know, there's no leader that would not want to have his way when he's leading, no matter how he's loyal to whoever was instrumental to his coming to power. There will be a time when they would want to certain parts that might not go well with whoever put them or is instrumental largely to their coming to power. So when it was Fashola's second tenure, they always use re-elections, especially in Lagos State. That also was there, but because Fashola, his first tenure, tried to please the people, the Lagosians, the Lagos people, and he's seen that he did a lot. So the people wanted him to continue against the choices of those who determine how this power is shared in Lagos State. But because of the public outcry and how it's going to go with the people, they left Fashola to finish his tenure. And then the next time was Ambode. Ambode was also a loyalist. I think then he was in the financial sector of the state. As a loyalist, he took over Fashola. But he wasn't lucky enough to finish his tenure. Meanwhile, there are other people in the line who feel that are more deserving of the Father's blessings than whoever got it. But what is important to the power allocators is what these people in line might not all represent or might not all be aware of. So they will not totally determine how the power oligarchs will determine who's next. Then Shomolu came in. And there are people who have been in this same queue who feel that I'm more deserving. Obasa is one of them. So he watched the lesser colleague in that queue of loyalty. And you know, what defines loyalty is a lot of things coming together in that cult of power. I don't know what to call it any longer. But Obasa felt so cheated. But you know, he was also, and these people, these power oligarchs will always find ways to settle those who will raise their heads. So he became a Speaker of the House. And now he wants to see his ambitions through from speculations and what has been said about his interest in becoming the next governor of Lagos State. And it's not going down well with those who are also distributing this power and determining who's next. And the guy is not living without a fight. He was impeached. The members of the House said unanimously they decided to impeach him. But this guy is not living without a fight. I told you in the last video that most of the people who have been impeached will always walk away silently and nursing their wounds. But Obasa looks like one guy who is not going to live without a fight. And why would he be that confident to challenge the power structure in Lagos State, to challenge those who distribute the power, to challenge the decision of those who impeached him? They say that he's impeached based on allegations of misappropriation of funds, indiscipline, corruption, and what have you. But it's always said that he who alleges must prove. If you accuse this man to have done all the things you are saying is the reason for his impeachment, you will have to prove it. And I think right now the man is in court. And believe me, these power distributors, I wouldn't know if they would want to go all the way because they're going to open dirty linens. This guy knows a lot. For you to have that courage, it means you are equipped with what it takes to fight the power lords. It means you have what it takes. You've got them in the bad corner. It is interesting to note that it is still the GAC, the Governorship Advisory Council, or those that are involved in the selection of powers in Lagos State that decided the impeachment of Obasa. And the question now is, why would they want him back within such short interval? Why would they want him back? Because you can't tell me that this person would be working towards reinstatement without the knowledge of those who impeached him. So why would they impeach him and want him back within a short time. Something is at stake. They are afraid of something. He can stir the waters. He can mess up the waters. He can spoil the soup for their pleasure. So obviously, this guy has a stake. And as we watch the drama unfold, we have to kick against absolute powers.